Life in 19th century England was a tough one. People often struggled for money and to find a job. But in the eyes of one Mary Ann Cotton, this only brought killer opportunities. Mary Ann Cotton, Britain's first female serial killer. Mary Ann Cotton grew up in a coal town in northern England. Her family was strict and disciplinary, but then her father died in a mining accident while she was very young. For a few years, young Mary Ann lived alone with her mother, but when her mother married another man, she swiftly moved out at the age of 16. Mary Ann soon got a job as a caretaker for a middle-class family. She worked for this family until she met and married a coal miner of the name of William Mowbray. Mary Ann and Mowbray had a seemingly happy marriage until suddenly their children started dying. Of the 8 children they had, 7 of them died. This was a common thing at the time, with there being incredibly high infant mortality rates, but then Mowbray himself died. In the next 20 years, the death toll surrounding Mary Ann steadily rose. It included 2 husbands, her children, her mother, a lover, and an inconvenient friend. Everyone close to Mary Ann was dying, and they were all dying of similar causes, either gastric fever or some other stomach ailment. At the age of 41, Mary Ann was arrested for up to 21 murders. Each victim was a close relative to her, and they were all killed through arsenic poisoning. But why did Mary Ann kill all these people who were so close to her? What would drive a mother to poison her own children? One trend throughout all of her murders is that she always got an insurance payout. In a time where it was so hard to earn money, this seemed like an easy way to get the money that Mary Ann so desperately wanted. And it was obvious that Mary Ann wanted money. She grew up in a working-class family and then got a taste of the middle-class life when she worked as a caretaker. She sought to leave the life of poverty and would do anything to do that. Killing wasn't the only way that Mary Ann got money. In her 3rd marriage, she got caught getting her children and stepchildren to pawn off items around the house for her. But this greed that Mary Ann had was not the only reason for her murder. Mary Ann lived in a time where women had no power. They were simply defined by their home and family. Not only that, but it was nearly impossible for a working-class woman to get out of a marriage. The only 2 ways were divorce, which was much too expensive, or if their spouse died. With arsenic, Mary Ann found a way to get out of her marriages. She found a way to easily erase the life she had so she could move on to another. All she had to do was sprinkle some into her victim's tea, and all of her problems were gone. This gave her a sense of power she would not otherwise have. She used this power many times. When she became displeased with her life, she would simply poison her family and move on to the next. It got to the point that she even killed her longtime lover, Joseph Natchez, the man that she was more fond of than anyone else, when she met a richer man. What made her killings even easier was that she disliked kids. This came from when she was a caretaker, as the family had 12 children and they made her work exceptionally difficult. This made it easier for her to be able to murder her kids in order to get into the new life she wanted. Mary Ann Cotton was a woman who used murder to gain opportunities in a society where women didn't have any. She constantly wanted to find herself a better life with more money, and the only way she thought this would happen was through murder. Mary Ann loved the power she got from her ability to so easily change her life that she didn't care that what she was doing was against the law. In the end, Mary Ann was doing what every other woman was doing at the time, doing whatever they had to do to survive.